Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a huge topic: why didn't Shedeur Sanders get drafted in the first or second round? Early last year, he was projected as a possible number 1 pick, and yet, he slid way down the board. We're gonna break it down step by step: his overall ability, the pre-draft process, the role of his agent, or lack of one, why he was once seen as a top pick, and the good news, why he might still turn into an NFL success story in Cleveland. Let's get into it. Let's start with the football part: overall ability. At Colorado, Shedeur Sanders put up great numbers, over 7,000 passing yards and 64 touchdowns. But when scouts really dug into the tape, they noticed some big concerns. He completed just 47% of his throws beyond 20 yards. Under pressure, his completion rate dropped to 54%. He was sacked 94 times over his last 2 seasons. That sack number? It's insane. Sure, Colorado's O-line was rough, but teams worried Sanders held the ball too long and lacked the pocket awareness NFL quarterbacks need. And while he's accurate on short throws, he doesn't have that elite arm strength that jumps off the screen. Scouts said, good rhythm passer, high football IQ, but not an elite athlete, and not a creator outside the pocket. Once teams started stacking him up against guys with bigger arms or more mobility, he just didn't profile as a top 10 franchise quarterback anymore. On to the pre-draft process, where things got even trickier. Sanders skipped major events like the East-West Shrine Bowl. He declined other tryouts and kept a very tight circle about who he would meet with. He did have a private workout with the Giants, but overall, there were rumors he was trying to pull a Manning, meaning, steering himself towards specific teams he wanted to play for. For NFL executives, this matters. Because when you're drafting a player, especially a backup, you want to know, will this guy be all in no matter where he lands? If a player seems selective, or controlling, teams sometimes back off. Another major factor: representation. Instead of hiring a traditional NFL agent, Shedeur was represented by his dad, Deion Sanders. Now, that has some obvious pros. Deion knows the business inside and out. He's gonna fight for his son harder than anyone else. But it also brought cons. Teams are used to dealing with agents who know the small details: contracts, negotiations, media strategy. Some front offices worried about how involved Deion might be once Shedeur got into the league. Would there be extra media pressure if he wasn't starting right away? Would it be a distraction? Fair or unfair, that was part of the equation. Remember, just 6 months ago, Sanders was a projected top pick. He was the betting favorite for number 1 overall early in the college season. When Colorado was 3-0 and lighting it up, everyone was talking about him. But as the season wore on, and as scouts got deeper into the tape, the buzz faded. His strengths looked more and more like they needed the right system, the right team, and a lot of development time. And here's something that's not talked about enough. Once teams stopped seeing Sanders as a surefire starter and started seeing him as a good backup QB, they had another question to answer: how much noise will come from Deion or from Shedeur if he's not playing? NFL teams want their backup quarterbacks to be quiet workers, guys who develop behind the scenes without headlines. If there's a fear that the media will blow up every decision or that there will be pressure for playing time too soon, teams get nervous. When you're picking a backup, you don't just draft the player, you draft the full story around him. And for Sanders, the full story includes a giant spotlight that some teams weren't sure they wanted. But here's the good news: Shedeur Sanders still has the tools to succeed, and now he has the perfect setup. He's with the Cleveland Browns. He's behind Deshaun Watson, where he can develop, learn, and grow without immediate pressure. He'll have a chance to compete for the backup job. And if he stays patient, focuses on improving, and lets his work do the talking, he can flip the whole narrative. Instead of "why did Shedeur fall?" it'll be "how did teams miss on him?" And in the NFL, that chip on your shoulder is a powerful thing. What do you guys think? Will Shedeur Sanders prove everyone wrong in Cleveland? Was he overlooked, or did teams get it right? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoyed this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.